Hello, this is the 65th segment of the Master the Bible Today series, a snapshot of the book of Habakkuk. Authored by Habakkuk and written to Judah, the southern kingdom, and to God's people everywhere, to show that God is still in control of the world despite the apparent triumph of evil. Babylon was becoming the dominant world power, and Judah would soon feel Babylon's destructive force. Habakkuk, a prophet, was a man who sought answers. Life is filled with questions, asking how, why, and when. We probe beneath the surface to find satisfying answers. But not all questions have answers wrapped up and neatly tied. These unanswered interrogations create more questions and sometimes nagging, spirit-destroying doubt. Some choose to live with their doubts, ignoring them and moving on with life. Others become cynical and hardened. But there are those who reject those options and continue to ask, looking for answers. Troubled by what he observed, Habakkuk asked difficult questions. These questions were not merely intellectual exercises or bitter complaints. Habakkuk saw a dying world, and it broke his heart. He boldly and confidently took his complaints directly to God. For example, he asked, "Why is there evil in the world? And why do the wicked seem to be winning?" And God answered with an avalanche of proof and prediction. The prophet's questions and God's answers are recorded in this book of Habakkuk. As we turn the pages, we are immediately confronted with his urgent cries. Quote, "How long, O Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen? Or cry out to you, violence is everywhere, but you do not come to save." Unquote. Chapter 1, verse 2. In fact, most of the first chapter is devoted to his questions. Habakkuk asked God why the wicked in Judah were not being punished for their sin. He could not understand why a just God would allow such evil to exist. As chapter 2 begins, Habakkuk declares that he will wait to hear God's answers to his complaints. Then God begins to speak, telling the prophet to write his answer plainly so that all would see and understand. It may seem, God says, as though the wicked triumph, but eventually they will be judged and righteousness will prevail. Judgment may not come quickly, but it will come. God promised to use the Babylonians to punish Judah for their sins of disobedience. When Habakkuk cried out for answers in his time of struggle, asking God why he would use the wicked Babylonians to punish his people, God answered with words of hope. God said that he would also punish the Babylonians after they had fulfilled his purpose. God wants us to come to him with our struggles and doubts, but his answers may not be what we expect. God sustains us by revealing himself to us. Trusting him leads to quiet hope, not bitter resignation. God is still in control of this world in spite of the apparent triumph of evil. God does not overlook sin. One day, he will rule the whole world with perfect justice. God is the creator. He is all powerful, and he has the master plan. and he will carry it out in his time, not our time. He will punish sin. God is our strength and our place of safety. We can have confidence that he will love us and guard our relationship with him forever. Our 100 years on earth, if we are blessed to live that long, is like a grain of sand on all the beaches and deserts compared to eternity. Hope means going beyond our unpleasant daily experiences to the joy of knowing God. We live by trusting in him, not in the benefits, happiness, or success we may experience in this life. Our hope comes from God. After receiving God's answers, Habakkuk responded with a prayer of faith in chapter 3. Habakkuk's example is one that should encourage us as we struggle to move from doubt to faith. We do not have to be afraid to ask questions of God. The problem is not with God and his ways, but with our limited understanding of him. Listen to the profound questions that Habakkuk boldly brings to God, and realize that you can also bring your complaints and inquiries to him. Listen to God's answers and rejoice that he is at work in the world and in your life. Thank you.